Hello, boys and girls. It's Miss Egler, and for today we're going to read a book, and it's called If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. Can anyone respond to this? What do you see on the front cover of this book? And so when I ask this, kids will say, oh, I see a cookie, I see a mouse, I see a crayon, anything like that. And then I'm going to ask to get them interested. Do you guys like cookies? What cookies do you like to eat? To get them like excited, and you can even like bring in for this lesson like cookies so they can eat and like listen to the story, which is really cool. You could do with that. So then after this, I will say for today's lesson, we will be reading the story and focusing on the sequence of the story. And as we remember, sequence is like our morning meetings that we have. Can anybody tell us what order we do our morning meetings? So when I ask this, the students will respond what order they do their morning meetings in. So like we go through the calendar, we go through the weather, numbers, anything like that we do in our morning meeting as a routine, pretty much. And so once they respond to this, they know how sequences work and they understand what it is. So pre-reading, I will read the title and I will have them repeat. So if you give a mouse a cookie, so I will read that and they will say it back. And then I will read the author and then the illustrator. So the author is Laura Namaroff. And so they will say that. And then the illustrator is the person who created the pictures, who drew the pictures of the mouse, the cookie, and like that in the story. And that's Felicia Bond. And they will all say Felicia Bond back. And so after I do that, I'm going to ask students to look at the book again, the cover of the book, and predict what they might think will happen in the book. So do they think, like, what do they think if you give a mouse a cookie? What will that mouse do? Like, will it ask for things? Like, just, and then I'll have them talk among each other, and then I'll ask for a couple students to share what they think and what they predict. And then after the predictions, I will read the book. And so during the reading, I will stop at certain points, and I will show you this in just a second. So, if you give a mouse a cookie, and I will make sure to show all the pictures too, because the pictures are important for our context clues in this lesson for guessing words or trying to come up with words. If you give a mouse a cookie. So I'm going to cover up the word milk here, and I'm going to say if, and I'm going to say he's going to ask for a glass of what? What do you think he's going to ask for? And then make sure you look at the picture to see what he's going to ask for, and then you can always see the jug of milk, or what normally goes with cookies is milk. So they'll say, oh, milk, and I would give them hints like along this, and so I'll read it again once they guess the word. He's going to ask for a glass of milk. When you give him the milk, I'm going to cover for the word straw. I post notes just so I know where it is. He'll probably ask you for a straw, so they'll do the same thing. They'll guess what word it is by using that context clue in the picture, so like having the straw, like they'll know. When he finishes, he'll ask for a what? What do you do when, and I'll probably ask the question, what do you do when you're all done with eating? Like, what do you wipe your face with? And then he'll respond, napkin. And so I might ask them, what do you think the mouse will ask for next? And they'll be like, oh, a napkin. So that's like making a prediction using context clues for that. Then he'll want to look in a mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. And then I'd be like, show me your milk mustache, for like an interactive thing. And then people could just like make a little mustache on their faces, something fun to do. When he looks into the mirror, he might notice his hair needs a trim. What do we use to trim? And what do you think the mouse will ask for to trim his hair? And then they'll respond, scissors, or something like that, like whatever they come up. So he'll probably ask for a pair of scissors. And you can see right here, the boy's gonna go get the scissors. Sorry, I'm really bad at turning pages. When he's finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up. He'll start sweeping. Look at what he's doing. He's making sure he cleans up his mess. He might get carried away and sweep every room in the house. Wow, that's a lot of dirt. He may even end up washing the floors as well. And in the pictures, I will explain how the mouse feels in this picture. So, like, does he look tired? What do you think he's going to do next? Like, will he take a nap? Or do you think he'll do something else? So, and then I'll read, when he's done, he'll probably want to take a nap. You'll have to fix up a little box for him with a blanket and a pillow. He'll crawl in, make himself comfortable, and fluff the pillow a few times. He'll probably ask you to read him a story. So, you'll read to him from one of your books and he'll ask to see the pictures. When he looks at the pictures, he'll get so excited he'll want to draw one of his own. He'll ask for a paper and crayons. So look at him, he's really excited. He wants to draw a picture. So by just like showing the character's emotion by the illustrations, help them understand the book, which is really important. So, and then I might ask if for this page, what is he doing? So they interpret the text, the words, so they'll be like, respond, he's drawing. And I'll read, he'll draw a picture, and show them it. Sorry, these pages get stuck. When the picture is finished, he'll want to sign his name. So then I'll probably ask, what do you think he'll sign his name with? And people will be like, oh, a pen, a pencil, or anything. And I'll say, with a pen. And I'll stop here after this, and I'll ask, well, how do you think the boy feels? Like, look at the pictures. How do you think he feels with all this stuff? Does he feel overwhelmed? Would you feel overwhelmed with the mouse going and getting a bunch of stuff? They would probably respond yes. Just so it shows emotion within the picture and it relates to them. And so after that, I'll read, then he'll want to hang his picture on your refrigerator, which means he'll need Scotch tape. So look at the boy, he's trying to go find the Scotch tape. He'll hang up his drawing and stand back to look at it. Look at the refrigerator will remind him that... What do you think the refrigerator will remind him of? What was there for fridge in the first beginning of the book? And people will think, oh, the milk was in the refrigerator. Like, that's where they got the milk. And so the story kind of repeats itself. And so... it reminds him that he's thirsty, and since he's thirsty, and you can see the boy's a little tired, and I'll make them predict what will happen next, he'll ask for a glass of milk. And the chances are, if he asks for a glass of milk, what will he want to go with that glass of milk? What did he eat in the beginning? And they'll be like, oh, a cookie. And so... he's going to want a cookie with it. And so after this, you can point out that the boy is very tired and the mouse is very happy. So, which is really funny. And then after reading, I will kind of list everything that happened in events for sequence. And then for our class assignment, the formative assessment is more like a group like activity that I have. So they're all gonna have cards like of objects that the mouse wanted. So it's like a sequence of event, and they will like line up with these cards in order, and they will help each other figure out like what happens next. So like first it's a cookie, then it's milk, and then like, it repeats itself towards the end. It'll be milk and cookie. So each kid will hold a card and line up in the line of events like beginning to end, which is pretty cool. And then that's what I have for them to practice sequencing after. And then their summative assessment, which is the one like they get to know their knowledge on. It's gonna be more like they have a worksheet, which is kind of bad to say, but it's like a worksheet that's interactive, so they get to draw objects of the story in a sequence circle. So it'll be like a circle, and it looks like this actually. So they'll draw pictures of what happened in order, so they know. And pretty much both activities, like the first activity of them physically holding up pictures and getting an order helps them recall the story for this lesson. So yeah, that's all I have.